జయగము శ్రీలంక అగన్ పటాంగము.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe receives the credentials of 5 new diplomats at a ceremony in Colombo. The newly appointed envoys include high commissioners from Zambia and Bangladesh, and ambassadors from Lithuania, Vietnam, and Myanmar, underscoring Sri Lanka's commitment to enhancing diplomatic relations with these countries, with discussions focusing on mutual cooperation and interests. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa vows to renegotiate Sri Lanka's IMF deal if elected, critiquing its focus on debt sustainability over essential economic growth, argues the current 3.1% growth target by 2029 is insufficient, stressing the need for a more ambitious and inclusive economic strategy to drive long-term prosperity. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa asserts party members currently working with other factions will eventually need to rejoin the SLPP, criticizes these individuals for supporting rival parties for personal gain rather than their own, underscoring the need for unity within the SLPP. Sri Lanka's dollar bonds have fallen below 55 cents due to uncertainty about debt restructuring and the upcoming presidential election. The bonds, down from 59 cents in June, reflect investor concerns over the restructuring plan, which requires IMF and creditor approvals. The political instability and restructuring delays have led to Sri Lanka being one of the worst-performing emerging markets this month. The cabinet approved 6 companies to operate tourist service counters at Bandaranaike International Airport's entrance lobby, enhancing services for international travelers. Following evaluations, successful bidders include Airport Tourist Drivers Association and Ayuba One Tours. The counters, operational for 3 years, support the government's push to boost tourism by improving infrastructure and streamlining visitor services. Supreme Court, led by Chief Justice Jayantha Jayasuriya, orders the Election Commission to conduct the long-overdue local government elections, initially scheduled for 9th March last year. The ruling, which followed petitions from various political and civic groups, deems the delay a violation of citizens' fundamental rights, urging swift action to uphold democratic processes. These petitions were filed by SJB General Secretary Ranjith Maduma Bandara, NPP MP Harini Amarasuriya, the Centre for Policy Alternatives, and PAFREL. A UN report highlights rising threats to fundamental freedoms in Sri Lanka due to regressive laws, weakened democratic safeguards, and ongoing intimidation of civil society, criticizes the use of the Prevention of Terrorism Act, PTA, and calls for accountability, economic fairness, and reconciliation ahead of upcoming elections, urging international measures if domestic reforms falter. The Postal Department designates 8th September as a special day for distributing polling cards for the 2024 presidential election. Despite being a public holiday, cards will be delivered from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Distribution ends on 14th September, after which voters can collect cards from post offices. This ensures timely card delivery for voter participation. The Malagakanda Magistrates Court has issued a restraining order preventing health sector trade unions and the Inter-University Students' Federation, IUSF, from holding protest marches or entering the Health Ministry premises today. Effective from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., the order aims to prevent disruptions and public inconvenience amidst ongoing protests for improved working conditions and educational reforms. On the opening day of the first test at Old Trafford, Manchester, Sri Lanka posted 236 in 74 overs, thanks to resilient half-centuries from skipper Dhananjaya de Silva, 74, and debutant Milan Ratnayake, 72. Despite an early collapse to 113 for 7, their partnership helped stabilize the innings, England's bowlers, led by Chris Wokes and Shoaib Bashir, dominated early, but play was curtailed early due to bad light, with England at 22 for no loss.
Today our concern is, are we going to pay our tax? Okay, stop. We will pay the tax. Api badu geum.
Jayagamu Sri Lanka, Magan Patangamu.
We lead the web news.